Hi, I'm Maggie from maggiescrochet.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a ruffled scarf using Red Heart Boutique Sashay yarn. And this is one of the many brands of yarn, not many brands, but the types of ruffling netting yarn that we have available at maggiescrochet.com. And so there's just endless possibilities for colors, and you can do them in one strand, or I've got videos with 2 strands. And I really wanted to do another video with using this because I have a better quality camera now than I had before. So, and I really wanted to try this pink color. So here's some of the many colors that Sashay comes in, and the item number for this is NM782. And if you go to maggiescrochet.com, you will see all the colors that are there. There's a lot of them. So let's start. I want to start at the center, and I'm going to pull from the strand out from the center, like right here. I don't want to start from the outside because then it'll just tumble everywhere. So I start from the center, and also I'll be using a Dreams crochet hook, which is my favorite hook to use for making ruffled scarves because of the deep cut inside the head here. It keeps the last loop on your hook tucked away in there, and you can pull all the other loops over it. And I'll also be using, normally I have stitch markers, but they're all in different projects. So I'm going to use some big safety pins to secure my work while I'll show you how it can safeguard you losing your work. So we start out by opening up the netting. One side is a more finished side like that right there. So that's the side you want to show on the outside of your scarf. So you'll be working on this side, and to start you just fold this over about 3 inches and you match up the loops like loop for loop. I'm going to go from the front to the back through the first set of loops, and then I'm going to skip the next loops because these loops are really close together. If you've ever worked with this yarn or Starbella, you'll know that there's a difference in the loops. So this, and then I'm going to skip this one and go in this one from front to back. And then this one kind of doesn't have a top loop, but I'm just going to go in that loop and then catch the next loop up here. So then I want to skip, I'm on a single strand here, I'm going to skip this one and go in this one. So that very last one is the one that I'm going to keep on the head of the hook, and I'm going to grab these and I'm going to turn the head of the hook down and go through all the remaining loops on my hook. And this first one is a little bit difficult because of those double loops in there. But if you have a hard time, just pull them off one by one, or you know, whatever you have to do to get all those loops over. And I promise you, when you get past that, the rest is a piece of cake. So now at this point, I definitely would skip 1 loop, maybe 2, and go into the 3rd loop. But for this one, I'll go in every other one. So I'm going to skip 1, go in this one, skip 1, go in the next one, skip, 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 next, skip, next. Okay, so all these loops are building up on my hook. And I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. That means I picked up 9 new loops on my hook. So let's go for 10. I'm going to skip the next one and pick up the next one. Okay, so the very last one is right here. And I am going to put my finger right here on each side of the rest of the loops, not this one. I'm going to leave that one down here, and I'm going to bring the head of my hook down and bring the remaining loops through those, like that. Now, if you look right here, what's happened is one loop didn't come off. So I'm glad that this happened, because I want to show you how you can figure out which loop should have come off that hook. So if you go right here and you pull this like a little bit right here, it's pulling that right here. So that's the loop that should have stayed on the hook, and this one needs to come off. It's the one that didn't come off. And see right there? So, okay, so then you skip the next one, go on the next one, skip, go on the next one, skip, go on the next one, skip, go on the next one, skip the next one, go on the next one. I'm going from the front to the back. Skip, go on the next, skip, go on the next, skip, go on the next, like this. So I'm going to do it till I have 10 loops. So it'll be 11 total. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I need 2 more pickups. So this one, and I'm spreading this out as I'm, moving the yarn onto the hook. Okay, so the last one is this one. The other way that you can tell which one got caught in a changing color one is by the color too. It might help. Okay, so you want this one to stay right there. You want to grab these, pull them down, grab them real tight, and pull these, turn the head of your hook down, and pull it through the rest of them, like this. See that? And then it's just gathering them onto the hook. So now, you see how it's ruffling? So cute. Okay, now, at this point, especially when you're a beginner, you want to lock your chains as you go along. I recommend locking every single one and having 2 markers, and put one on the next one that you draw through, and then when you do the one after that, take this one off and move it on the other side of the next one. I'll show you how. So anyway, I'm going to skip the next one and put the next one on my hook like this. Skip. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so now see this? I'm going to put that down in there. I'm going to grab all these, turn the head of my hook down, and bring that strand through all the other loops like that. And I brought an extra one through again. So what I'll do is try to figure out, if I look at these, this is the one that was on my hook, and I can test it by pulling this forward, and then see how I loosened that there, and see it's that one there. So that was the last one that I pulled off, so it's this one that needs to come over. Okay, so then I'm going to mark this one. And this is good too if you want to set your work down, so when you pick it up you won't be lost. Okay, so skip this one, go through this one, skip, go through this one, skip, go through this one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Now your yarn is going to twirl like this, so you just need to roll it like this to get it straightened out. It'll help you when you're trying to unravel it as you work. So you just keep rolling it till it's straight like that, and it uncurls it. Okay, so now your very last loop right here stays on your hook. These, the better job you do at straightening these out and grabbing them and pulling them over, the easier time you're going to have in making sure that all of them get off the hook except for this one. Okay, so then you're going to pull this through right here, and there you go. Okay, it might help to use a smaller hook here because these are smaller holes than Starbella. And this works fine for Starbella, but it might be a little bit big when you're pulling it through, and it might snag the loops. Let me try using a smaller Dreams hook. Okay, I'm going to try this. This is a 7. Okay. And now this is what I was talking about. I've got 2 stitch markers. So I'm going to take the one furthest back to the beginning, and I'm going to take that one out. It's perfectly safe to take it out. If I can get it. No, this is probably why it's not good to use these. Oh my gosh. It wrapped around the, oh boy. It wrapped around, it's not good to use, I'm learning something new here. It's not good to use the, safety pins because they get messed up. Well, anyway, I'll have to take that out. But you get the idea, don't use safety pins. So stitch markers are better. Or I have a safety pin here that doesn't have that round part at the bottom. So anyway, I would move that one up to this, to the last one that I did, like this. And now I am going to try this with a smaller hook because I have smaller holes here. So I'm going to skip this one, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm going to leave the last one on there. I'm going to grab all these, and I'm going to pull that through. Oh, much easier. Much, much, much easier. So you want to use a smaller hook. That's a better idea. So anyway, when you get to the end here, you want to cut this. Let's say I was at the end and I don't have any scissors, so I'm going to just use these little cutters here. So I would cut about maybe 3 inches out right here, and let's say this is my last loop right here. All I need to do is to pull the whole wad of yarn that's left through the last loop on my hook right here, like that. And I'm going to pull both sides right here, this and this. And I would probably like take this and tie a knot with it at the end too. And the ruffles are going to cover this up. But tie a knot like this, and then the ruffles will come down and hide this, and then you can trim that up a little bit more right there. So that's how you finish off your scarf. So that's how you make a ruffled scarf using Red Heart Boutique Sashay yarn, and that's available at maggiescrochet.com. Thank you for watching.